50 games. He'll square off against Adam Jones, Baltimore's all-star, among the top 10 in homers, runs, and hits. The Indians return to Progressive Field for a big homestand, starting with 4 games against the Orioles, who still hold down second place in the rugged AL East. When the teams met last in Baltimore, Tribe bats got healthy, and they're hoping for more of the same here in Cleveland. Indians will try to improve to 23-8 in the first game of the series. Next on Sports Time Ohio. Back home at Progressive Field, where the Indians open a homestand tonight. 4 games between the Tribe and the Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Tribe coming off a road trip that had the makings of good things, but it ends up a disappointing 3-4 record overall. Now they stay in the American League East. Baltimore coming in. Seemed like we just played the Orioles, and yet they've kind of remade their whole pitching staff since we saw them last. And in that series, Rick, the offense really got going.
It was their best offensive showing of the year by far. 32 runs in the 4-game series. They had 23 walks, 21 extra base hits to go with the 8 home runs that they had, and it seemed like everybody pitched in that series. I mean, Lou Marson had 7 hits, Duncan had 7 hits, Lopez had 7 hits. None of those guys will be in the lineups, but those guys had a good series when we were in Baltimore.
Offensively, they were shut down yesterday, but yesterday, truly, you had to tip your cap to David Price, one of the best pitchers in the American League. Speaking of pitching, let's take a look at our Nissan Road Ahead pitching matchup for tonight. Derek Lowe, the sinker baller, goes for the Tribe.
Well, he had a good start his last outing in Toronto. He had one hiccup in an inning where he gave up all 3 runs, gave up 3 hits and 3 walks in that inning. But I'll tell you, he really threw the ball well. He kept it down and had an opportunity to win. He's going to be matched up against Miguel Gonzalez. His first start, he came in 4 1/3 innings against the Indians back in Baltimore. So this will be his first start against them this year.
All right, so the Indians, and we'll try to keep it rolling against Baltimore, played well against the Birds in Birdland. Get to a Nissan dealer for special offers on innovation that excites. And, of course, Jim Thome back in town with Baltimore. Hasn't homered yet in 11 games with the Birds. Back with all the play-by-play action coming up next. Welcome into Progressive Field as the Indians take the field on this Friday night. Derek Lowe will have the duties of starting for the Tribe this evening against Baltimore. As the Indians look for their 48th win of the season, Baltimore comes in already with 48 victories They are 9 games in back of the Yankees in the East. The Indians just 3 games back of Chicago in the Central, a game and a half behind second place Detroit. For Buck Showalter's Baltimore Orioles, here is the starting lineup brought to you by Kia. Nick Markakis will lead it off. Then it's J.J. Hardy, followed by Jim Thome. Adam Jones batting cleanup. He'll be followed by Matt Wieters, and then Wilson Bettemy, Chris Davis, Mark Reynolds, and Ryan Flaherty rounded out.
Derek Lowe making the start for the Indians tonight, brought to you by MLB.com. At bat 12, follow the Indians everywhere. He is making his 19th start, an 8-7 record, a 4.43 ERA. And Derek does give up a lot of hits, but he also gets a lot of ground balls. He leads the majors in that department, just about 3 ground balls per every fly ball he gives up. In his last start, pitched a good game against Toronto, but ended up having one bad third inning where he walked 3, gave up 3 singles. 2 of them were on good pitches, and ended up giving up all 3 runs in the ball game. They were shut out in that game. So let's set the defense behind Derek Lowe this evening. It looks like this. Damon in left, Brantley in center, Chu is in right. It'll be Hanahan at third, Cabrera at short, Kipnis is at second, Kochman at first, and Santana behind the plate.
Dan Bellino is calling the balls and strikes tonight. The crew chief Jerry Lane is at first, Vic Carapazza at second, and Larry Vanover down at third. All ready to go. It was rainy, drizzly, cloudy all day in northeastern Ohio, and just here at game time, the sun bursting through the clouds, so it's going to be a pleasant evening. A little on the cool side for this time of year. Game time temperature just 71 degrees and a pretty good breeze, and it's blowing straight in from center field. Nick Markakis, who was on the DL when these two teams met in Baltimore, he's back and batting cleanup, or batting a leadoff rather. Guy who you're used to seeing in the middle part of the order.
Yeah, at least second or third. But he's been back in for 7 games and has done a nice job leading off. You know, Roberts is out. He has hip issues. And they have a lot of big swingers in that lineup, so why not put this guy in the leadoff spot, a lot like what Acta did to Shin-Soo Choo.
Orioles going with their black jerseys for tonight's game. The 1-2. Hit on the ground weakly to second base. And Jason Kipnis takes care of that one away. Derek Lowe got off to a terrific start for the Indians this year. In his first 8 starts, he won 6 games, lost just 1 time, and had an ERA of 2.05. Since then, in his last 10 starts, he's lost 6 of 8 decisions, and his ERA is 6.71. Well, I don't know that it's been necessarily much more than mechanical flaws, you know, sinker not getting down on the strike zone enough. And as he said, look, I don't throw hard enough to get away with mistakes anymore.
Well, he wasn't. When he started off 6-1, no one expected him to do that. It was just a perfect storm for him, where he went out there and everything went his way. They scored him runs. He pitched very well. He pitches great in this ballpark. He's 5-1 and an ERA of under 3. He's a guy that is giving them innings like they wanted. He hasn't missed a start. He goes out there every 5th day. And his goal is to keep you in the game. He did in his last start, but they were shut out. There's the home road splits.
Pretty safe to say, at this stage in his career, not as good as he was in those first 8 and not as bad as he has been in his last 10.
Right.
But he's been a pitcher of extremes at times.
Well, consistency is what you strive for.
He went down and got a pretty good pitch, and Damon kept it in front of him. And now going for second base is Hardy, and he'll go in sliding safely with a double. A little sinking liner that Damon got caught in between on. He was good to knock it down and not let it skip past him.
He thought he was going to catch it. That's why he went after it. There's the slider. Hardy goes down. Hits a pretty good pitch. That ball was a slider down, and in comes Damon. And by the time he goes for it,
He realized he wasn't going to catch it, but he was able. He didn't see where it was going.
So 1 on, 1 out for Jim Thome. And he looks at ball 1 down low. That's outside. And a bouncing ball to first base. Casey Kochman has it. Takes care of Thome. And that's out number 2 as J.J. Hardy goes over to third. Injury report tonight brought to you by Elk & Elk. Serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. The Orioles missing Brian Roberts, who's a guy that, was banged up and missed most of the first part of the season. Nick Johnson, who seems like he's been hurt every year other than last year with the Indians, and he spent the whole year in the minor leagues. Here's Adam Jones. Maybe trying to squeeze a run home there. And the pitch was low. He brought the bat back in time, 1-0. His numbers really stand out. 22 homers and 50 runs batted in for Baltimore and a .293 average.
Yeah, just signed a new deal this year. And he's finally blossoming into the guy that they felt he could be after they acquired him from Seattle. Good center fielder.
Top 10 in homers, hits, runs, total bases. And a strike from Derek Lowe. They count now 2-1. Sliced foul into the seats. Evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. White Sox are in Detroit. Chicago first place in the division. The Tigers closing fast in second. Tigers have won 8 of their last 10 coming into tonight's play as that misses outside in a full count. The White Sox and the Indians both is kind of floundering right around the 500 mark lately. Tribes lost 6 out of 10. Chicago 5-5 in their last 10. 3-2. Left field down the line. Foul ball.
Well, another slider. I think he left this one up. He sure did, and left it middle of the plate. He got away with one there. That was hit hard, but just foul. That guy put the hand out there. That's going to be sore. He'll have to ice it down with his beer in his other hand.
He's trying to brush it off. No, I'm fine. I'm okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Wait till it starts swelling up.
The 3-2. And it's ball 4 gets away from Santana, and the Orioles take the lead. My goodness. The Indians' first inning troubles continue this year when it comes to giving up first inning runs.
Well, this one, Derek just throws it way. He was going to make sure he got that one away, and Santana tried to backhand it, but not much he could do there. That'll go as a wild pitch, his 5th.
Tribe's been outscored 69-45 in the first inning on the year.
Well, you don't want to give up any runs. I mean, you don't hand a team runs. They've been having a tough time hitting with runners in scoring position. There you go. 18 first inning runs allowed for Derek. And that one was a gift.
Yeah, funny thing about Baltimore, you talk about hitting in the clutch or with runners in scoring position. They're 26 points better on the road than they are at home, and they have one of the best hitter-friendly parks in the league.
Right. Well, the Indians will agree with you on that one.
3 balls, no strikes to Wieters. Wieters took Lowe deep for a key home run when they met in Baltimore.
Yeah, for whatever reason, Derek tried to throw him a sinker down and in, and it cost him 3 runs. It's the 3rd straight hitter for Lowe, also at least a 2-0 count.
Three-1 to Wieters. Little tapper foul. That
Oh,
almost
fair.
came back fair,
It
and
did.
it does.
Wieters
is going to be out because he assumed it was going to go foul, and we all know what happens when you do that. The Orioles grab the lead on the wild pitch, but Wieters out observing. Look at the starting Indians lineup for manager Manny Acta, brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Shin-Soo Choo, Asdrubal Cabrera, and Jason Kipnis at the top of the lineup, and Cabrera swinging a hot bat against these birds. Then it's Brantley Santana and Travis Hafner back in there hitting 6th. Johnny Damon, Casey Kochman, and Jack Hanahan batting 9th.
Miguel Gonzalez on the mound. He's making his 3rd start this year. And interesting, he ended up getting this start because he pitched 4 1/3 innings against the Indians back when we were in Baltimore. And it seems like every time he's been out of the pen, they've given him an opportunity. His first start came out in Los Angeles against the Angels. He did a terrific job. 7 innings, 3 hits, just the 1 run. So he got the win. He lost in his next start to Detroit, and this is his 3rd start.
And a pitch outside, Shin-Soo Choo, who's batting .294 coming in.
He's about a fastball, slider, a little splitter.
High drive, left center.
Not today.
The left fielder Davis. Now look at him come back in to catch it. You're right, Rick. It's a weird day. We don't see, first of all, you don't see 71 degrees late in July normally in northeastern Ohio, and you get that kind of a stiff breeze blowing in, knocking everything down is unusual too.
Keep your feet moving, outfielders. Let's take a look at the Home Depot Orioles defense, rated last in the league with 80 errors. It's Davis in left, Jones in center, Markakis in right, Benamit at 3rd, Hardy at short, Flaherty at 2nd, Reynolds at 1st, Wieters behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
You got to look at the fly. I mean, that's a pretty good breeze blowing in today.
This is more of an April wind than it is in a day than it is July.
Yeah, when I was down on the field before the game, it was very noticeable. And usually in the summertime, it's so warm, you don't notice the breeze much. And because a lot of times it's blowing out. But definitely a bit different. While we were gone, I think folks here, it's kind of a welcome relief, because while we were gone, they said it was stifling here in the 90s.
Yeah, we were in Florida. It was hotter here than it was in Florida, so we didn't understand that.
We were watching it rain every day. As Drupal Cabrera, 2-1 count. Hits it high and deep to right. Back is Markakis. He's going to watch it sail out of here. As Drupal Cabrera, with his team-leading 12th home run of the year, ties the game at 1.
Well, the wind didn't affect that one.
Well, that's the beauty of this ballpark, is that because of the double-deck affair, actually triple-deck affair in right field, when that wind blows in, it'll hit the home plate area of the grandstand and shoot right back out of here to right field, and he socked it clean.
Well, he caught him a pitch that he really, right in his wheelhouse. So hopefully this will get his Drupal going. He continues to swing it pretty well now for the third game. Ties the ball game up at 1.
Now Jason Kipnis taking a strike. Cabrera loves that Baltimore pitching. And now Kipnis with a liner to left. That's in the gap. That'll go to the wall. And Jason Kipnis rolls into second base with a 1-out double.
Well, this is what they did to the Orioles back in Baltimore. A lot of homers, a lot of doubles. And they start off in the first inning with one of each. Gonzalez goes right there, throws a fastball away. Jason stayed on it, drove it to left center field, gets it out into the gap between Davis and Jones, and he cruises in with his 11th double.
Remember, we were talking early in the year where Kipnis hit a lot of home runs, high batting average, but didn't have many doubles. Seems like it was singles and homers. But with that swing right there, you expect him to hit a lot of doubles.
Well, they'll come in cycles for him.
Michael Brantley looks at a ball down low. This guy's been hitting just about everything, wherever it's pitched. Doubles, triples, singles, even an occasional home run.
And it's a very good road trip. And for Gonzalez, it's all about his fastball command, because he's not overpowering.
Strike over the outside corner. Our stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. Third best average in the month of July. And there you see on that last roadie, 10 out of 22 and 7 walks. And those walks are just simply a product of teams starting to work around him. You know, when he's been so hot and so locked in. You know, you talk about that hot zone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of red spots. So and it's kind of like, you know what, if you don't have to, don't throw him a strike.
Well, that's what they done. I mean, when Manny took him and put him in the number 4 hole for a reason, because of the struggles of Santana and Hafner. That's what they do. They pitch this guy a lot tougher, and they pitch around him if they can. And they go at the guys hitting behind them until they prove they can hit. And it's still Santana and Hafner behind him now. But really, you have nobody else to, plug in to put behind him when you're hitting him fourth.
Only so many guys for so many spots. Santana coming off a better series down in Tampa. He's waiting on deck. Now the 2-2 to Brantley. Outside and a full count.
Well, and this is what makes Michael very good. With 2 strikes, he knows the strike zone. He gives, that's his little splitter or his off-speed changeup that he throws. He didn't bite at it. It was away by 4 to 6 inches. He just took it.
Popped him up, though. And the shortstop Hardy has it 2 down. Carlos Santana now. He takes low, ball 1. Remember when we were in Baltimore, it was blistering hot, and it was Lou Marson who caught every game. Santana was scuffling, and Manny just sat him. Line drive, right field, foul. Just a little bit too far out in front of it.
Well, yeah, you go back to that series. You remember Damon was gone too, and Duncan played a lot. He had a good series in Baltimore. Lopez played as well.
Yep.
He had a good series in Baltimore.
One pitch. Missed inside. Miguel Gonzalez with a runner at second and 2 down in a 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the first. 2-1 pitch to Santana. And it's ball 3. Santana says he's worked to eliminate some of the movement with his approach at the plate. And he said he's trying to just get back to basics. 3-1. And it's ball 4. He's drawn a lot of walks here lately, that's for certain. 2 on, 2 out. And it will bring up Travis Hafner. Now Hafner coming off that road trip where every game was on artificial turf, went 4 for 17. Fouls the first pitch right back. Two on, 2 out, 0-1 pitch. Up high with it to even the count. Gonzalez over 20 pitches in this first inning. Kipnis at second, Santana at first. No big shift on for Baltimore with Hafner at the plate. Ties him up with a fastball, and it's 1-2.
This is where you like to try and go, and you pitch Hafner upstairs above the belt, above the hands.
And now Gonzalez 1 strike from getting out of further trouble here in the first. Hit him, and the bases are loaded. A weird looking pitch, just something that I think was off speed. It was coming inside, but
is that the slider maybe?
Maybe it looked weird, Rick, just because of the way Hafner didn't really react. It almost looked like he just kind of froze.
Yeah, slider, and hit him on the back knee. It was inside. He just wasn't giving up on it. Then it catches his knee.
So the bases are loaded with 2 down, and Rick Adair is going to go to the mound and talk things over here. Johnny Damon will be the batter. That was not the knee that Hafner had his surgery on recently. That was the right knee that he had the meniscus tear in. Adair's meeting is over. Gonzalez will go back to work. Johnny Damon is 1 for 6 this year with the bases loaded. And an off-speed pitch for strike 1. Chops it to first. Reynolds will take it himself. The Indians tie the game, but they leave them loaded in inning number 1. 1-1 as we go to the second. By McDonald's Cherry Berry Chiller. Cherry and raspberry flavors blended with ice and 100% fruit juice. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Second inning here at Progressive Field. Wilson Betemit leading off for Baltimore. Betemit a .253 average. 10 homers, 32 runs batted in. And a count now 3-0. Betemit has gone 6 for 15 against the Indians this year, and he draws a 4-pitch walk.
Well, four hitters out of the 6. Derek Lowe has had 2-0 counts, and he's a guy that pitches to contact. Remember, in that one inning in Toronto, I said the third inning, he had 3 walks in that inning and also 3 singles. And that was the only one that he gave anything up on, but it cost him.
Left fielder Chris Davis fouling it right back. Like the Indians, the Orioles are playing their second consecutive 4-game series. They just finished up 4 with Minnesota, in which they lost the first 2 and then came back to win the next 2.
All close ball games.
Well, except for the first one. They got beat 19-7 in the first one.
But they tired them out.
Then they lost 6-4, but then they won 2-1 and 4-3.
Right.
They've been very good in one-run games this year.
18-6 are the Baltimore Orioles. Very good.
Driven deep into the corner. On his way to third is Betamit. And Chu's throw coming into second base, not in time. Davis in with a double. And the Orioles have runners at second and third with nobody out.
Second hit, second double for the Orioles. This looked like it was another slider down for Davis. Left-handers like it. There it is, down. Didn't get it in there quite enough. He lines it into right field corner, so Baltimore right back, second and third, nobody out.
Mark Reynolds to the plate. And looks at a first pitch strike. Reynolds has struck out 80 times in 218 at-bats. Chop to third. Hanahan will hold the runner there. And throw to first for out number one.
Well, load up on your favorite ballpark food right here at Progressive Field. All for just $8. The Hot Dog Classic Combo Deal includes a Sugardale all-beef hot dog, 16-ounce Pepsi, and a large popcorn. You also have the Brat Classic Combo. Includes a Brat and a 12-ounce beer. Both combos just $8. Log on to Indians.com.
Sure, there's more than a few folks taking advantage of that here tonight. Pretty good crowd on hand. Rock and Blast fireworks coming after the game tonight and again tomorrow. And Sunday we've got the 3 o'clock start. 1-0 pitch. Chopper foul. And then the series wraps up Monday with a night game. One ball, one strike count. And a foul ball might have cracked his bat. Ryan Flaherty will look for a new piece of lumber. Betamit, the runner at third, Davis at second. 1-1 ball game here in the second. Downstairs with it to even the count. Mention the fact that the Orioles are better hitting with runners in scoring position on the road as opposed to at home, but they actually score more runs at home than they do on the road. 4.5 runs a game at Camden Yards, just 3.7 per contest on the road. And there's a pop-up.
That should not get it done.
Brantley is there. He'll make the catch, and the runners hold. 2 down. That's one of those at-bats where Flaherty will go back to the dugout kicking himself, and if you're Derek Lowe, you're able to sigh a little bit of a relief.
Well, not yet.
That's why I said a little bit.
He did get the second out.
He's not out of the woods yet.
No, one more.
Nick Markakis, especially when this guy's coming up. Low ball one. Missed inside, 2-0. He had a 3-hit game Tuesday in Minnesota. He had 3 doubles last Saturday against Detroit. Doesn't look like Lowe wants anything to do with him here. Though it's hard to tell at times. He's been behind a number of guys 3-0.
Yeah, they're just going to go ahead now and put him on. But you're right. He has been behind a lot of people.
Load him up for J.J. Hardy. Well, both Lowe and Miguel Gonzalez needed 25 pitches to get through the first inning. And now Lowe is at 43 with the bases loaded and 2 down here in the second. Gonzalez got out of a 2-out bases loaded jam to end the first inning.
Derek Lowe, 24 balls and 20 strikes.
Yep. Got him, popped him up. Shallow left. The 3 converge. Damon says, I'll take it. He does. And the inning is over. So both teams have left them loaded once already. We'll go to the bottom of the second, tied at 1. One as we go to the home half of the second inning. Casey Kochman, Jack Hanahan, and Shin-Soo Choo coming up. Fastball strike to Kochman. Rough road trip. He was just 2 for 17 at the plate. One ball, one strike. Little nubber. And Gonzalez jumps off the mound to grab it and throw him out. Well, what do you say we check in with Katie Witham for the first time tonight?
Hey, Matt, Rick. Well, all you Indians fans, make sure you're here this Sunday. The first 15,000 fans through the gates will take home a Charlie Nagy jersey, courtesy of First Energy Solutions. And then make sure to take advantage of free transportation weekend. You've got free RTA rail service, free shuttles from Ohio City, and then also free parking in that Eastway garage. All you need is a ticket to the game. Log on to Indians.com to get them now.
Thanks, Katie. There's Jack Hanahan. And a strike. Hanahan was 2 for 12 on the recently concluded road trip. Swing and a miss. It's a ball and 2 strikes. A little bit inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hanahan, since he came back from the disabled list in the middle of June, has 11 hits and 62 trips to the plate. No score in Detroit, where the White Sox and Tigers are locked.
Pretty nice matchup there. Verlander against Peavy.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect to see a lot of numbers on the board tonight. Hanahan strikes out, 2 away. Our great clip of the game tonight, we go back to Baltimore, where Shin-Soo Choo had a heck of a series. He had 8 hits, 4 coming in 1 game. He had 2 homers in the series, and he drove in 6 runs. Great clips. It's gonna be great. Choo flied to left his last time up in the first. Well, just as we talk about the White Sox and Tigers, great pitchers duel, Chicago puts up a 2 spot in the 3rd.
All right. We'll see. That'll be a good series.
Routine bouncer to second. Indians go 1-2-3. Tied at 1 as we go to the 3rd. Reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Jim Thome will lead off the 3rd inning for Baltimore. In case you're wondering, Derek Lowe is in the book. Thome has homered twice in his Hall of Fame to be career off Derek Lowe. There's a liner to deep left. Damon a long run, won't get it. It's off the wall. And Thome hesitated going around first. The throw off line, and he's in safely with a leadoff double. Well, Derek Lowe has already given up 3 doubles here tonight.
Yeah, that's all their hits. Again, that's what happens when you pitch from behind in the count. They can get a little more selective. For Thome, his 449th double. And again, that's their first leadoff double. Last inning, they got their leadoff man aboard on a walk. He slides in safely. That's his 3rd double since being with the Orioles.
Here is Adam Jones now, who walked his first time up. First base open again here. That's when Lowe walked him in the first inning. Jones again trying a bunt, and he might have busted his finger up on that.
You know what?
one.
I think you're right. You hear that funny sound? He might have had his finger wrapped around the barrel of that bat, and I think it might have went off part of the finger and the bat at the same time. It did. He's walking around shaking it off, trying to get some feeling. See if we could catch it. Watch that front finger. Yes. See how it's wrapped? He's got the black gloves on, so it blends in with his bat. But
because he hit it off the end, it just vibrated right down there, didn't it?
It got him on that pointing finger. That's smarts.
The 0-1 pitch fouled back out of play. I mean, it's one thing if it's late in the game and then that's a do-or-die run, you want to get home, but this is your bell count. You don't want him.
You know what?
Here.
He did that on his own. I don't think Buck put it on. There you'll see it gets a piece of that finger, just probably the tip. You see it where it's underneath? He did that on his own. And look, you're the guy leading the team with home runs, RBIs, the whole 9 yards. You got to swing it.
You're batting fourth, son.
It's way too early in this game to have your absolute best player try that. Well, I mean, they're saying that the Indians saying thank you, go ahead. And not only that, and he hurt his finger doing it. That was baseball's way of saying, what are you doing, boy?
Mm-hmm.
Think of what you're doing.
Broke his bat and still gets to run over to third. So Jones does his job ultimately. It's going to bring up Matt Wieters, who grounded out his first time up. The trivia question tonight, courtesy of AT&T. 5 players in Indians history have hit 5 total home runs in 2 consecutive games. Who are the 5 with 5 homers in 2 games? Matt Wieters trying to get a run home from third with less than 2 out here. And he will do so maybe. Cabrera's throw offline and the Orioles score. And
well, I don't know if that was a wise play there anyway. I mean, if you're Cabrera, they were playing back. They were given the run anyway. And it's not like the ball was hit right at Asdrubal. So that was a mistake. Even though Tomey can't run, you know, watch this. It's not at him. He's got to go to his left and then turn around to make a throw. And the throw's not close. And then you let Wieters get on base. So that I don't think that was a wise move. Get the out. Give him the run. It's early in the game.
If he doesn't have to move his feet, you know, and
well,
it's
that's
right
what I'm saying.
him,
If it's right at you, but no, he had to go to his left, and more than just one step. Well, let's just hope he can get out of it here with this base runner. But get the out, give him the run. You're down 1.
Wilson Betemit walked his first time up. Yet to see a strike. First one he sees,
now they're going to pay for it.
Off the wall. Wieters flying into third. He'll stop there. Another double.
Now you see, now there's a mistake of not taking the out at first base. Now they go back to second and third with 1 out, as opposed to 2. It's their 4th double of the evening, and they're in just a 3rd inning. And they're smoking this ball. They're staying on it. Remember, they left the bases loaded last inning. They didn't get a run, only had 1 hit.
They're going to walk Davis and pitch to the right-hander Reynolds. 4 hits, 4 doubles for Baltimore.
And 4 walks to go with them.
Second intentional free pass. So with the bases loaded and 1 out, here's Mark Reynolds. He bounced to third his first time up. Boy, would you love to see one of those right here.
Yes, exactly. And Lowe can do it.
And Reynolds is a free swinger. And it's ball 1. Derek has already made 60 pitches tonight. And that's the
odd thing, only 27 for strikes. He normally is not behind.
He doesn't have
like
a
this.
feel for it. You can see he's talking to himself after every pitch on that slider. He's had some he left up. He's made some good ones. Now comes Scott Radinsky. I mean, you look for ground balls. That's this guy. But he's fallen behind all the hitters. This has got to be a 6-2-0 count.
Right now,
That's 8.
This is one of those games where when the pitching coach comes out, if you're Derek Lowe, he's like, I hope you have some answers because I don't.
Yeah, right. You want to throw it for me? It's a 8-2-0 counts.
Oof. Normally, when you're a pitcher and you're working from behind like that, that's trouble. A lot of trouble. To this point, it's only a 2-1 game, but.
Well, yeah, he's been able to dodge a few bullets, but you can't keep doing this early in the game and expect to be around for any length of it. I mean, he knows. He feels it. He's out of sync. No one has to tell him. He's battling to try and find it.
Swung on and missed at the 2-0 pitch. Driven deep center. Brantley back looking up, and it's high off the fence. Scoring is Wieters. On his heels is Betemeet. Going to third, and in there safely is Chris Davis. Another double. 5 hits, 5 doubles, 3 here in the third for Baltimore, and they lead it 4-1.
Tell you what, Chris Davis just did the Indians a favor. He was sitting there before second base and not even going. You got to be able to tell that ball's going off the wall. Let's look at the location, though, by Derek Lowe tonight. You talk about doubles, and you want to know why. Just watch where these pitches are at. Middle of the plate, and he's a sinker ball pitcher, and it doesn't bode well. That one, the last double, that's their 5th double. And again, you go back, and not taking that second out helped open up this inning.
Well, the Indians are playing from behind here early, and right now it's up to Derek Lowe to try and make sure it doesn't get out of hand. You know, you've got 3 runs in. It's a 4-1 ball game. You don't want to allow Baltimore to suddenly make this a huge inning. Cody Allen just called up today. Was drafted by the Indians a year ago. He could be coming into his first big league game. Deep to right, Chu back. He's looking up. See you later. Wow. Ryan Flaherty with a 3-run homer makes it a 6-run third inning for Baltimore. Every hit in the game for extra bases. And everybody touching home here in the third.
Yeah, this is an ugly inning here for Derek Lowe. And the harder he's trying, it's not helping. It doesn't seem no matter what he does. A 6-run inning here for Baltimore, and unbelievable, all extra base hits in the game.
Seven 1-0s. And now Markakis pops one down the line. Damon jumps up into the seats.
He
makes the catch and hangs on. What a play by Johnny Damon. Risking life and limb to go into the seats. That's a terrific effort. Wow.
Holy smokes. You want to talk, well, look at this. The McDonald's, I'm loving. He got up there, and you can see this time it did stick. This wasn't New York where it bounces out and someone else has the ball. It goes into the glove. He goes into the seats. He goes down hard. But he comes back up. He's got it. Beautiful play. Look at, she wants to touch him after she saw he caught the ball. She didn't want anything to do with him until he showed her.
That's a good fan.
That's
you don't mess around with the ball and play.
Oh,
tell you what,
man.
that's a great effort right there.
Yes, it is.
And a great example. You talk about lead by example. There you go. There's a guy with Hall of Fame credential going into the seats on a foul ball. Liz. 2 down. J.J. Hardy, the 9th man to bat in the inning. Hit to third. Jack Hanahan with a great play. Spins and throws, and Kochman puts the tag on to end the inning. Baltimore bats around, and they really battered Derek Lowe here in the third, scoring 6 times to take a 7-1 lead. Now Baltimore jumping to a 7-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the third inning. As Dribble Cabrera will lead off here in the home half of the third. He homered for the Tribe in the first.
Well, that 6-run inning should let Miguel Gonzalez relax a little bit. At least let him go a little more free and easy. But the way the Indians scored in Baltimore and against this staff, just continue to come back and add on. You know, answer that 6-run inning. The thing the Indians have to do now, and if Derek Lowe continues to go out there, is zeros the rest of the way. That's what you have to do. That's the biggest thing.
No, that's the problem. You know, when you're in a funk like Derek Lowe is in here tonight, it's hard to imagine he's going to go out there and suddenly find it.
Well, you're right. Well, if they have any chance, whoever's out there has to find it and throw zeros if there's any chance in this game.
Cabrera taking a little extra time. Banged foul. There's the 1-2. And his Dribble just fighting it off. Wayne Kirby.
Gonzalez is a pretty interesting story. He never signed with the Orioles until like the last day of February and showed up in spring training in March 2nd or 3rd. He was originally signed by the Angels back in '04. And that glove that he has on, he was a roommate of Nick Adenhart. Remember the pitcher that was killed in the car accident? And that was a gift to Gonzalez back when they were roomies. And he still has it with him. And the amazing thing, his first start, he grew up in the Valley in California, was against the Angels. He pitched 7 innings, 3 hits, and only 1 run. It was a Mark Trumbo home run. And ended up getting a win out there in front of a ton of family and friends. But this guy was nowhere to be found. Went through Tommy John surgery, had knee surgery, and there it is. There you see the glove there from Nick Adenhart.
Got Adenhart's number on it. The 1-2. Fastball at the knees, freezes Cabrera, and that's out number 1. Second strikeout for Gonzalez.
Well, there you'll see it's at the knees. It had the dish. And he gets the call.
And Jason Kipnis takes the ball outside. He doubled the other way his first time up. Two and 1 the count for Kipnis. And that will even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers have come back to tie it up at home against Chicago. 2-2 in the 3rd. High fly to center. Adam Jones there. 2 away. Our minor league report brought to you by University Hospitals. I'm Jared Getter. What a slugfest last night. 13-12. Columbus beat Louisville. He had 3 hits, scored 3 runs, homered for the 9th time on the year. Michael Brantley popped up on the infield his first trip to the plate. Pops this one up out of play.
Want to send along some birthday wishes tonight. Sylvia Wiedenbauer is turning 8 today. She watches every game from Tucson, Arizona. Her husband John sit there, they watch, and their son Tom is the first base coach for the Indians. So, Sylvia, we want to wish you a very happy birthday today.
Sylvia was very disappointed that you booted that ball the other day in Tampa.
She should be.
She thought you were going to make the play.
Yeah. Well, so did a lot of people. What's that tell you? Sorry, my hands, I've lost it, man.
Stony.
I'm coming with a glove from now on.
What? Tommy Bowe will bring his fishing net again.
Yeah. Been using that for something else, though.
Last thing he caught was a cold. Gonzalez with a 1-2. And it's outside to even the count. Michael sends a long fly ball to deep right field. Markakis backpedaling in the middle of the track, pulls it down, and the Indians go in order, and Gonzalez has retired 7 in a row. Town Cleveland. And right now the Birds are flying past the Indians. 7-1 Baltimore, 4th inning. Jim Thome leading off. He led off the 3rd with a double and came around to score. 1 ball, 1 strike. That goes foul. A little bit low, 2-2. Of the 609 career home runs that Jim Thome has hit, the guy he has victimized more than any other is Rick Reed.
Oh, it used to be with Minnesota? Yeah.
And what's really surprising about that is that Thome hit all 9 of his homers off Rick Reed in a span of 61 dingers. So he hit one every 7 homer. Every 7 homers came out at the expense of Rick Reed, and that one comes at the expense of Derek Lowe. Absolutely drilled out of here. That's number 610 in the career of Jim Thome. And that was absolutely blasted. And it's 8-1 Baltimore.
Well, another slider here, I think, from Derek Lowe. Oh, yes, there it is. And it goes a long way deep into their bullpen. You see he gets on the side of the ball, and it stays up top, and it goes a long way. So it's 8-1 game. So I don't think Derek's much longer for this game.
His first home run since joining his new club. His 6th on the year. Adam Jones looks at the ball inside. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. Yeah, but all 9 of those homers that he hit off Rick Reed came between August of 01 and September of 02.
Well, we used to face the Twins that often. He used to pitch a lot, and he was a control guy. And
twice he hit 2 homers in a game off Rick Reed. That's probably just about it for Derek Lowe, as Cody Allen is getting up in the Tribe bullpen once again, and that's it. It's 8-1 Baltimore in the 4th inning. And Cody Allen will be making his major league debut for the Tribe when we come back. The bad news, Derek Lowe, a quick exit. The good news, we'll get a look at Cody Allen, who was a 23rd round pick just last June and already to the big leagues. And he's only the 2nd player from last year's draft to get to the major leagues. And he's been a little bit everywhere this year, but a 1.87 ERA. He's a guy who throws a fastball in the low 90s, and he's got a curveball. And so we'll see what Cody Allen has to offer here at the big league level. The Indians obviously weren't real happy with what they saw from Scott Barnes. He did not pitch well coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah,
so here's
Barnes,
a chance to give Allen a look.
You're right. You got to give him a look. Why not? Barnes just didn't cut it since being up here. So now this is a game where he can come in and hopefully get it done.
Threw the fastball by him, and that one hit 96. So much for that low 90s. That's mid 90s with the fastball.
Well, he might be a little fired up, you think? Huh?
There's a chance.
First chance coming in here. There's a nice crowd in this house. He's making his major league debut. He's got to be fired up. A little extra adrenaline flowing.
Foul back. Matt Wieters 0 for 2 on the night. 2-strike pitch from Allen. Fastball runs away. There's the curveball, but he missed with it. And the count evens at 2-2. Allen, a Florida native, was drafted by the Indians out of High Point University in North Carolina. Now the breaking ball missed again. Full count. Runner goes. 3-2. Fouled back. Now I think almost every player who's played in the big leagues all say the same thing. The hardest thing to control that first time out is your heartbeat. Feels like it's probably beating out of your throat, and you're just trying to calm yourself down, slow it down a little bit.
When you get that first out, it certainly helps. Then you say, okay, I can do this.
Runner goes. 3-2 pitch. Again, it's fouled right back. Adam Jones getting a workout. Jones holds this time, and a 3-2 is ball 4. Fastball up and away, so 2 on, nobody out. Wilson Betamit coming to the plate. Rick, before you came to the big leagues, were there guys that you encountered in the minor leagues that would tell you, okay, this is what's going to happen. Here's what to expect. Here's how it's going to be.
No, not at all. Not at all. You just played around them, and there were some guys that, when I was on my way up to AAA, you played that had spent some time in the big leagues, but you never really talked about it a whole lot. I mean, that's your ultimate goal, is to keep moving up the ladder. Yeah, and I mean, you realize you're getting close, unless you roomed or grew up with somebody coming up along the way.
One-0 pitch, right back over the screen.
Yeah, just make sure you keep that pitch up there, belt high. Betamit is a very good low ball hitter. He loves to golf them. Well, we're in the 4th inning. The Orioles have 7 hits. They've walked 6 times. So they have had their share of base runners all night long.
Fastball right at the knees on the outside part of the plate, and it's 1-2. Missed badly there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. His breaking ball has just been a pitch that he hasn't been able to throw for a strike yet.
Well, maybe trying to throw it too hard, trying to make it too good and make some break. Like I said, he's got to get that first out. A ground ball double play would be beautiful for him.
Man, it's too low. Full count again. Certainly not what Manny Acta had in mind when he made out his lineup card here tonight. Here's the 3-2 now to Betamit. And that's ball 4. So Cody Allen has walked the first 2 he's faced, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Well, and this is certainly not the way you want to start a 4-game series with a ball club, because this could have a tendency to be, a bullpen game where guys have to come in and get some work done.
Now Scott Radinsky is going to go out, try to The youngster in a tough spot here with the bases full, nobody out, and you're already down 8-1.
Well, and it all walks. I mean, you got to make them hit their way on.
Whatever he said brought a smile to Allen's face.
He's trying to lighten it up is what he's doing. You know, look, kid, don't worry. It's only the big leagues. They've got 8. Worst that could happen, they hit a home run. They got 12. So come on, get it out. Let's go. We're going to be out here all night. Finish up our birthdays. Matt Hyla is turning 30 today. Kenny Rito of Greenville, South Carolina is 26. And Lori Berkheimer from down in Canton. Happy birthday to y'all.
Is the Hyla World Tour over yet? Is he back from
I don't
jolly
know.
old England? Pitch outside.
I didn't know he went over there.
He's over there watching the British Open. He's probably playing in the British Open, knowing him.
He's not back then.
Chris Davis has doubled and walked, and he swings. It's out of play, 1-1. Buck Showalter's Baltimore club still very much alive in the wild card hunt, despite the fact that their pitching is in disarray. And they've really had to remake their entire rotation over the last couple of weeks. But they're still right there in the hunt. The 2-1. Big bouncer to first. Kochman goes to second for one. The return throw to Cody Allen. He can't come up with it. I don't think he'd have been out even if he had held on to the ball. A run scores. It's 9-1, and there's one out in the inning.
Okay, now you can close the book on Derek Lowe. He's given up 9.
Davis picks up an RBI.
You're right. He would have been over there even if he holds on to the ball. Got over there in time, but just wasn't hit hard enough. The run comes in to score, and there is his foot. He beats it over there. It looked like it. I don't know if he got any leather on it.
There's Mark Reynolds, 2-run double, his last time up. Right back to the screen. That missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball finds a strike zone, and Allen gets ahead 1-2. Strikes him out. Cody Allen gets his first K, and that's out number 2. Well, this helps. He's ahead in the count. And then he's able to throw that breaking ball.
Well, there's a good breaking ball. On the plate, you can see it's got good bite. A 12-6 breaking ball. There you go. You get ahead in the count, and you throw it on the dish and just trust your stuff. So after he got that first out, able to come back, get his first strikeout. Now let's see if he can get out of the inning.
Ryan Flaherty hit a 3-run homer off Derek Lowe his last time up and takes a ball outside. That was back in the 3rd inning, and that was That was a swing that made it a big Baltimore inning. 6 runs in the third. Fastball threw it by him, and that glanced off Santana. And Cody Allen's already chucked it up there 25 times. Threw it by him upstairs, 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Out of play. Two on, 2 out. 2-2 count. And another foul ball.
Well, that's what major leaguers do. He's going to find out. You got to get pitches down. They get to 2 strikes, and this is a guy that's hitting 9th in the lineup. He's a 196 hitter, and they still find ways to foul balls off and stay alive if you don't get it in the location you want. They already have 7 foul balls off Cody.
And another fastball up and away, full count. A young right-hander making his major league debut in relief, and this is his 30th pitch of the inning. Hit on the ground, almost picked off the runner Davis. Kipnis throws him out. And Cody Allen gets out of the 4th. 9-1 Baltimore. It's 9-1 Baltimore. And we're going to the home half of the 4th. Carlos Santana, Travis Hafner, and Johnny Damon coming up for the Indians. Biggest challenge from Miguel Gonzalez is what to do in between innings.
Yeah, no kidding. And, the Indians have spent their share of time out in the field. There's no question about it. And the Orioles have been in the dugout.
Curveball missing. Santana walked his first time up, swings, fouls it back. Missed low and away with it. Comes back to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes as Gonzalez about to make his 60th pitch of the game. He has set down 7 in a row since he hit Travis Hafner to load the bases with 2 outs in the first inning. He allowed a home run to his Asdrubal Cabrera that tied the game, and then a double to Jason Kipnis before he walked Santana and hit Hafner to load him up. But since then, he's retired everybody. The 2-2 to Santana. Up high, full count. Just his 3rd start for Miguel Gonzalez. He's made 100 pitches in each of his first 2. He's walked Santana for the 2nd time tonight. And we'll go back to the Hyundai Studios for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt and Rick, let's go to Detroit. White Sox taking on the Tigers. Verlander against Peavy tonight. All the runs coming in the 3rd. 2 for the White Sox in the top half. 3 for the Tigers in the bottom half, highlighted by this Delman Young double to left. That makes it 3-2 Detroit. They're in the 5th now in Motown. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. We're in the 4th here as Travis Hafner steps up, hit by a pitch. He was hit on his left knee on a slider by Gonzalez in the 1st. Outside corner, a fastball, strike 1. Now an inside corner, so he went away with 1 and in with 1, and now Hafner down on the count, 0-2. Not sure where to look for the next pitch, probably.
Maybe on the back knee, like he did the last time up. Threw that slider inside.
2-strike pitch with Santana at first. High pop on the infield. J.J. Hardy is under it. 1 away. All bets are off tomorrow afternoon starting at 5 o'clock. We'll broadcast live from Rally Alley just outside Progressive Field. Enjoy all the fun and excitement tomorrow starting at 5 right here on STO. Jason and Al will be out there.
They were out there today. Rock and Blast follows tonight's game, tomorrow's game.
Johnny Damon pops it up, foul ground near the dugout, no play.
Al and Jason celebrating St. Patty's Day today, weren't they?
And Katie too.
Katie was too, right.
Oh, the wearing of the green. I think it's nice the way they coordinate, all 3 of them.
It is, very nice.
just missing 1-1.
That's a pretty good changeup there.
And the 1-1 from Gonzalez is a little bit inside, 2-1. Damon with a liner into center field, and Santana will stop at second. Johnny Damon takes one right back up the middle.
Well, he had to go with the fastball. He threw back-to-back changeups and missed with them. So Johnny looking for the fastball. This guy reminds me a little bit of a pitcher that used to be there, Rodrigo Lopez, right-hander for them. Yeah, he pitched elsewhere, you know, not overpowering, moves it in and out.
Casey Kochman squid one off the end of the bat his first time up, back to the mound. Curveball for a strike. The 0-1 out of play. Kochman down on the count, 0-2. With Jack Hanahan due next. And Kochman tried to muscle it through, but it's caught by a diving Reynolds at first for out number 2.
This ball looked like it might have got inside a little bit on Kochman, and Damon took off, but realized he had time to get back. It's one of those in-betweeners. Once he took off, he realized that ball's going to get caught. I got to get back. Reynolds makes a diving stop. 2 outs.
And that'll bring up Jack Hanahan, a strikeout victim his first time up. Well, they just need some kind of jolt. A big crowd on hand, something to get them going, get back into it. And the 0-1 from Gonzalez is a strike called. It's 0-2. And the 2-strike pitch. He strikes him out on 3 pitches. Indians strand a pair. We go to the 5th, 9-1 Baltimore.
By Panini's, with 17 locations in Northeast Ohio. By Levin's, home of the Sealy Posturepedic mattress made right here in Northeast Ohio. By Kia, Cleveland.com. And by First Merit Bank. Well, we go to the 5th inning. And for the Indians, they go back to the bullpen. Cody Allen working a scoreless inning of relief. He did walk a couple. Did not allow a hit. And he struck out a batter in his major league debut here with the Indians. Now Esmil Rogers will come on. He'll be facing the top of the order, Markakis, Hardy, and Thome. And a pitch outside for ball 1 to Markakis, who is 0 for 2. And his last time up, he sent a foul ball down the left field line that Johnny Damon went hurtling into the stands to make the catch.
He's the only Oriole that hasn't scored a run yet today.
Ball away. 3-1. Markakis lines it to center, and Brantley makes the grab, 1 away. Well, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite, and Johnny Damon with about the only thing that could be deemed a highlight for the Indians so far tonight. That was a terrific effort, though. I mean, that's just no regard for your body on that one. Fly ball, center, Brantley, 2 down. Here's our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. As Dribble Cabrera did tie the game with a solo homer in the bottom of the 1st. But Baltimore taking over in the 3rd inning with a 6-run explosion. Mark Reynolds a 2-run double. Ryan Flaherty a 3-run homer. And this guy homered his last time up, the 610th of his career. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Jim Thome takes a strike. Rogers makes quick work of Thome and the O's here in the 5th. They go 1-2-3 for the first time tonight.
Oh, it was cloudy all day, but the sunset makes for a beautiful sky at night. Gotta laugh to keep from crying, folks. 9-1 Baltimore. Bottom of the fifth. Shin-Soo Choo, top of the order. And he looks at ball one. He's 0 for 2 on the night. Fastball inside corner. And a bouncer foul. One-two, line drive, base hit into right field for Shin-Soo Choo. Let's go downstairs and see what Katie Witham has for us right now.
Hey, thanks, guys. I'm hanging out with Dayton native, 22-year-old Olympic weightlifter Holly Mangold right now. Now, Holly, I know an exciting journey, you making the Olympic team. Next week will be the opening ceremonies. Just how are you taking this all in, and what does this opportunity mean to you?
Well, right now I'm trying to just relax at an Indians game, trying to take my mind off of it. But it means so much to me. It means so much to represent our country and to walk out there with the USA colors is just going to be great. So I'm just really excited. I'm just trying to not be too excited right now, kind of save that for when I fly over.
Now, I know expectations are pretty high for you, and many people believe that you're going to go there and you are going to medal. What is your goal heading in there, and what do you kind of hope to accomplish?
My goal is to medal, so and it's a pretty steep goal, and I know that is, but I think it's very possible, and if a lot of things align and if things happen, I'm very excited for it. So I'm just keep visualizing it happen, you know. So I keep playing it over my head where they keep putting a medal on me. So hopefully if I think about it enough, it'll happen.
Absolutely. Now, is this your first Indians game?
No, actually I was at home opener, and I'm gone to many over my whole lifetime. So,
okay, so just enjoying another game.
Yes, love it.
Well, you can catch the rest of Holly's story on SportsTime Ohio's new show, Cover Lines, debuting this coming Tuesday night at 11:30. Holly, appreciate the time. Thank you so much, and good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Katie. Thanks, Holly. It's all Baltimore tonight after 5, 9-1 Birds. Nine-1 Baltimore. And it's Been a rough one for the Tribe. Tell you what, our guy Redbird, he's always on it. Mike Pata, one of the best researchers and baseball statistician guys around. Now I've lost it. Man, here it is. Okay. Derek Lowe is just the 20th guy going back to 1918 to give up 7 hits in a game and have all of them be extra base hits.
Well, I'm sure Derek's going to be happy to know that.
There's a drive in the left center field and another extra base hit. That hit high off the wall, nearly a home run. Throw to second is offline, and Jones in with another double for Baltimore tonight.
Number 6. Yeah, this one, that's a breaking ball that stayed middle of play, middle in. Jones turns on, goes high off that auxiliary scoreboard. Yeah, that's amazing. They have 8 hits, 6 doubles, 2 homers, and also 7 walks. So they haven't even messed around with singles.
Well, the interesting thing about the list of guys who've done this, you think you give up 7 hits in a game and all of them are extra bases, as you said, that's not exactly something you're going to be happy to hear about. But Randy Johnson, it's happened to him.
Oh, yeah?
It's happened to Robin Roberts with Philadelphia, the great pitcher.
Boy, I wouldn't think Randy Johnson.
Yeah, it happened to Randy Johnson. Let me see here. Back in 2000, he was pitching for Arizona against the New York Mets. What's interesting is he went 6 2/3 innings. So most of the guys that it's happened to probably went a little deeper into the game. But Rick Russell, who was a pretty good pitcher in his era back in the 1980s, it happened to him. He only went 2 1/3 and gave up 7 hits, all for extra bases. That happened to him against the Philadelphia Phillies in 1989. I'm guessing that had to be. Would Kruk have been there yet? He would have been there by then, right? 89?
Yeah, I would
maybe
think
right
so.
Before him. It was close. Also on the list, Jose Rio. Although it wasn't with Cincinnati, it was before then when he was with Oakland. Rogers covers, but that's another run home for Baltimore. 10-1 Birds. As Betamit picks up the RBI. Happened to Dennis Martinez in 1983 when he was pitching for Baltimore against the Boston Red Sox. Curt Schilling, happened to him, pitching for Boston when the Tigers trounced him. Although what's the weird thing about that is he gave up the extra base hits, but only 2 runs scored.
Wow.
Because he lasted 6 innings, so they were more spread out.
So you say 17 in total, huh?
Oh no, he's the 20th guy since 1918 to allow 7 hits and all extra base hits in an outing at least. Had one more birthday to get out. I forgot earlier. Rose Race of Maricopa, Arizona, formerly of Cleveland, celebrating her 76th birthday. Watches every night. So happy birthday, Rose. The 1-2 pitch fouled out of play. Broke his bat, base hit. Davis has his second knock of the night. Yeah. Brown single game tickets go on sale August 1st. but you got an opportunity to win them before they go on sale. Let us know why you're a Browns fan for life by logging on to STOHD.com. Vote for your favorite moment in Browns history and a chance to win tickets to a Browns game before they go on sale to the general public. Here's Mark Reynolds. Swung on and missed. Fastball back. Out of play. 0-2. Glanced off the bat. And Reynolds stays in there 0-2.
That'll scare you. That's when you got 2 strikes, you're leaning in, and all of a sudden that thing comes in and it clips his bat. That's that one running in, and you're looking away. He was lucky it hit the bat.
A little bit outside. He checked, but he held up. 1-2 the count. 3-2. Tigers still lead the White Sox. They're in the 7th inning now in the Motor City. Toronto blanking Boston 5-0. They're in the 6th at Fenway. Reynolds strikes out. Santana will have to flip it to first. He does. Inning over. Orioles get another run. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 10-1 Birds.
Hanging out with today's Fun Money winner, Steve. We're hanging out in the Subway Extreme Fan Zone. You can be a winner too. All you have to do is sit up here in the Subway Extreme Fan Zone. Steve, how's the view from up here?
This is amazing. This is a great spot to watch the Indians make this rally comeback. And in fact, if I was wearing a hat, it would be inside out right now. I'd have bubble gum on it. We're going to make this comeback. Come on, Tribe! Woo!
We're having fun up here. You can too. All you have to do is sit in the Subway Extreme Fan Zone, Subway, where winners eat. Matt, Rick, we'll send it back over to you guys.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Michael Brantley takes a fastball for strike 1. Well, that guy hasn't lost his fate. Well, let's see if the Indians can get something going in this game. Down 10-1, bottom of the 6th, Michael Brantley 0 for 2. He hits one high in the air to left. Back goes Davis. He's got it. One away. Taco Bell inside, Doritos outside. The new Doritos Locos Tacos only at Taco Bell. It's crazy good. Carlos Santana has walked twice tonight. I don't recall seeing too many teams use the shift for Santana.
They've been starting to do it more. They've been starting to do it a lot more.
That's right, because he took a bunt one time.
Yep, he did on the road trip. I think it was it in Tampa or Toronto?
I don't remember. Might have been Toronto.
Yeah, where he started it off, took the bunt, and they forced him to change it a little bit, at least till he got to 2 strikes.
Now the 0-2. Big swing and a miss. He strikes out, 2 down. Time now to get the answer to the AT&T trivia question. 5 players, 5 homers, 2 games. And the winners are Carter, Bell, Williams, Ramirez, and Hafner. Hafner had a 3-homer game on this day in 2004. Hard to believe that's 8 years ago.
Goes by in a hurry, doesn't it? I remember he had that. I'm trying to think. It was the L.A. series or the Anaheim back then. That was, I think, the series that he did that on. We were out west. Hit 2 in his first night and then 3 on this day. Yeah, he had a tremendous series.
He also drove in 11 runs over those 2 games, tying an Indians record. That 04 team, if you remember, that's the team that made the hard charge in August. They got to within a game of Minnesota and then lost 8 in a row, I think, after that, and faded off. But then in 05 came back strong with a good second half, good interleague play, jump-started them. Came within a game of getting into the playoffs that year. Struck him out. Miguel Gonzalez has fanned 5, and he sets the Indians down 1-2-3 here in the 6th.
Make sure you're here this Sunday. It's Charlie Nagy Jersey Giveaway Day. The first 15,000 fans through the gate will take home a free Charlie Nagy jersey, courtesy of First Energy Solutions. You can log on to Indians.com. Get your tickets now for Sunday's game. And while you're there, make sure to check out tickets for Thursday's game. It will be Sugardale Dollar Dog Night, dollar hot dogs all around. You don't want to miss that. Again, it's all online right now at Indians.com.
10-1 Baltimore as we go to the 7th inning. Ryan Flaherty, Nick Markakis, J.J. Hardy coming up for the Birds. And the Tribe goes to the bullpen. Here's Joe Smith.
Joe Smith. I told you, this bullpen, you got to get through it where some guys get some work in. You don't like to see it the first game of a series. Lopez comes in the ball game at third base. Hanahan moves from third over to short. But, first game of a series, when you don't get a good start, that bullpen is going to get used. We did that in Tampa, as a matter of fact, in one of those games. Remember, they kept going to that bullpen early? Saw every guy out of that bullpen before too long.
That's out of play by Ryan Flaherty. Inside corner, a strike. 1-2 the count. Too low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Minnesota leading Kansas City 1-0 there in the 4th inning at Kauffman Stadium. Still 3-2 Detroit in the 7th in the Motor City. Bloop towards center. Brantley, a long run, makes the catch. Boy, he closed in a hurry. And that's 1 down here in the 7th. Don't forget, all you have to do is log on to teeitupohio.com and you can sign up to play the Columbus Country Club on August the 6th. Now, that's one of the top private golf courses in Ohio, but thanks to Jimmy Hanlon and Tee It Up Ohio, you've got a chance to go out and play it yourself, bring your group, however you want to do it.
Yeah, Big Jimmy, he'll get you taken care of. They did it once at Firestone. Now they're down at the Columbus Country Club.
I'm waiting until he gets us hooked up at Augusta, and then I'm in. I'm right there. Jimmy should be able to swing.
Jimmy, don't worry. I'll punch him when the inning's over. Augusta. Good luck with that one.
Yeah, Jimmy knows everybody.
I'd be happy to caddy for him if he goes to Augusta.
Foul back out of play.
Well, a nice crowd tonight. They haven't had much to cheer about. They're going to have to sit and wait for the fireworks show, I think.
Well, the way Miguel Gonzalez has pitched, didn't see that coming. But he has quieted them down. They really haven't even mounted any type of a comeback effort. Routine fly to center. 2 away. And Gonzalez has thrown 63 of his 92 pitches for strikes. 10 times he's had a batter down 0-2 or 1-2. He hasn't fallen behind a single hitter 2-0.
There you go.
And that's where Derek Lowe was
10 times.
right out of the get-go.
Yeah, he had 11.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I want to do a better job of keeping track.
I tried. Teflon man up there is.
Oh.
He isn't on top of his game. It's his first day back.
Yeah. He's got
from a road trip.
He's going to run out of Post-it notes. Game 1.
Oh, my goodness. He's
got
got
a
to
fresh
post
pad.
him. Stop on the way home. Paul Malls, pal.
Here's the 1-1. And a foul back out of play.
That's still a 3-2 ball game in Detroit.
Yeah, nothing's happened since
in the
early.
Same inning.
Yeah.
That's right.
Verlander and Peavy. 1-2. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rounded to short. Jack Hanahan slings it over. And the Orioles go 1-2-3. Good work by Joe Smith. Stretch time here in Cleveland, 10-1 Baltimore. And the 7th inning stretch brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic and their free walking program, Let's Move It. Mondays at Progressive Field and the Metro Park Zoo. Visit letsmoveit.org for more information. (10-1) Baltimore, bottom of the 7th inning. We look in from our Panini camera. Stop by Panini's Bar and Grill and get overstuffed. By the way, Jimmy Hanlon called.
He did?
He says.
What time is my flight to Augusta with him to caddy?
He says, and I quote, "When one of you clowns win the par 3 shootout, we will go to Augusta."
Oh, boy.
So the pressure's on us.
Well, tell him we won't be going.
It's going to be a while, especially since we didn't get invited back this year.
Jimmy, do you mind if we select the company in that par 3 shootout? Oh, he threw clowns at us, huh?
Well, he called us chops. I don't even know what that means, so I substituted clowns.
Oh, sure, chops, or was it hacks?
Should have been hacks. Would have been more appropriate. A strike to Johnny Damon, who is 1 for 2 with a base hit.
Jimmy's watching us on a Friday night, huh?
Oh, I mean, why wouldn't you?
On this one, You'd be
surfing a little?
Maybe. Yeah,
you might be surfing. Bare hand grab, can't get a good grip on it, though, and Damon is aboard with an infield single.
Well, Betamate, defensively at third base, he is, I would say, below average. He has had a tough year. He did barehand it, but he didn't get a grip on it to where he could throw. So you take it.
Speaking of surfing, I remember a game, it was probably a much worse scenario than this one. Back in the old days of the Superstation, and the late, great Skip Carey said, "Folks, if you promise to patronize our sponsors, feel free to change the channel." The 0-1. Inside corner, called strike 0-2. That might have been back in the days when the best the Braves had to offer was Bob Horner.
Yeah, well, he could hit him a little bit. Yeah, they had their days. Tony Sip up. He's getting loose. Everybody's got to get a little work in here tonight.
Bounced foul. Now the 2-strike offering to Kochman. And a bouncer to first. Reynolds to second for one. Back in time, a double play.
Well, come on down to Progressive Field on Thursday. It'll be Dollar Dog Night. Buy early and save on your seats as the Tribe will take on the Detroit Tigers coming to town. Enjoy all hot dogs for only $1. Log on to Indians.com for your tickets.
Here's Jack Hanahan, looks at the ball inside. Gonzalez just over 100 pitches on the night. And he's done a terrific job throwing a lot of strikes. He's made 104 pitches, and 72 have been for strikes. So they gave him the big lead, and he's done what you like to see a pitcher do, and that's be aggressive, don't walk people.
Well, throw strikes and see what happens. Trust your stuff. It has worked, but, you know, there's such a big lead. He's got a couple of double play balls.
He has struck out 5, and he has walked only 2 in the game, and only 1 since they gave him the lead. Back out of play. Stays alive on the foul. Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gonzalez into the wide, and the 2-2 pitch is hit deep to right field. Headed toward the bullpen and gone. Jack Hanahan with his 4th home run of the year. And it's a 10-2 ball game.
He got a changeup down out in front. He kept his hands back enough. You could see he was fooled on it a little bit, but he kept his hands back and got enough of it. That ball goes out right into their bullpen. The 4th home run for Hanahan.
Jack's first since May 10th. That was in Boston. Now Shin-Soo Choo 1 out of 3. And even Chu has to turn away after that swing. League leaders brought to you by your Cleveland Akron area Lexus dealers. Alex Gordon has taken over the top spot with 31 doubles on the year. Gonzalez trying to work through this 7th inning. Chu with a long drive deep right. Markakis going to watch this one hit near the base of the wall. And Chu will go into second base with his 28th. I'll make that his 30th double on the year. And career double number 150.
I thought that ball had a lot of top spin on it. Where that thing, I thought it was going to get out of here, and all of a sudden it gets down. It really short hopped the wall, and that wind, he had to have a lot of top spin because he smoked it.
Well, Markakis, the way he turned back, I thought it was going to get out of here,
See that
too.
ball coming to straight down like that? Well, he got a double, and that's going to do it for Miguel Gonzalez on the night. He settled in for 6 2/3 innings.
But the homer and the double with 2 outs sent him to the showers. We'll be right back. (10-2) Baltimore. Indians with a runner at second. 2 down as Drupal Cabrera coming up. Matt Lindstrom on for the 22nd time this year. And Jose Lopez with his first AB of the night. Lindstrom deals, and a strike called. That's a chopper foul by Steve Smith, the third base coach. And we're even up at 2-2 with 2 down here in the 7th inning.
That is the amazing thing when you said we played Baltimore a couple of weeks ago in a 4-game series in Baltimore. We'll come back here and face them in this 4-game series and not face the same starter twice.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, that is hard to believe. They faced Miguel Gonzalez out of the bullpen, who went 4 1/3 in
right.
Baltimore. He came back, and also Hunter. Tommy Hunter, who pitched against Cleveland. They knocked him down. They sent him back to the minors after that game he pitched the very next day. He'll start on Monday in the finale.
Pop back out of play.
This is one part of the Indians game where they have been so good is in the first game of the series,
Yeah.
the openers. They were 22-8 coming into this ball game, but it hasn't fared too well tonight.
Popped him up. Playable for Betemeat. And we'll go to the 8th. 10-2 Baltimore.
By the authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Tony Sipp coming on now to work for the Indians. 5th pitcher to work tonight for the Tribe. Aaron Cunningham is taking over in right field. Jim Thome will lead off for Baltimore. He has doubled and homered tonight. 2 for 4.
That was his first homer as an Oriole.
Yeah, base hit to left field. He's got 3 knocks on the night. Our highlight reel brought to you by your Northern Ohio Ford dealers. Back in September of last year, the Indians paid tribute to Jim, unveiling plans to build a statue in his honor after his career comes to an end. And then, in the same game, he gave us one last thrill as an Indian. And a lot of people thought that was it, that he would retire.
Well, I thought it was it.
But he got a call in the offseason from Charlie Manuel and said, hey, we'd like to bring you in. And he said, well, why not? Give it one more go. And then Philadelphia, just a couple of weeks ago, trading him to Baltimore. High pop. Hanahan out. He's there. 1 away. Let's go back to the studios once again. Here's Al with an in-game update.
All right, Matt, let's head back to Detroit. White Sox with Jake Peavy on the hill finally surrender another run here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Austin Jackson with the RBI base hit with 2 outs. Scores Peralta. Detroit's up 4-2. They're batting in the bottom of the 8th as well. Verlander's still in. Matt?
You know, speaking of Justin Verlander, mentioned that Rick Reed is the guy that Thome's hit the most home runs off of in his career? Justin Verlander's third.
Really?
And you think of the length of Jimmy's career and how many pitchers he's faced. Verlander's only been around, it seems like, a few years.
Well, he's
comparatively
been around since,
speaking.
04, 05.
But Jimmy's hit 7 home runs off Justin Verlander. The first came in 06. And his last home run off Verlander was in 09. But in between, 7. Rick Reed, he's hit 9 off Reed, 8 off Roger Clemens, and 7 off Justin Verlander. Then he got Eric Milton, Mike Mussina, Bobby Witt, all for 6. 5 off Brad Radke.
Well, when you have 610, you've hit him off just about everybody.
He's hit 4 off CC Sabathia, lefty. 4 off Johan Santana, another lefty. Eric Milton was a left-hander, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
6 off of him. A full count to Matt Wieters. Back out of play. That was the 195th career in Jimmy's 195th homer in his career hit here in Cleveland. 189th at this ballpark, and he hit 6 at Old Cleveland Stadium. Another foul back. Be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up here. Hit foul again. Boy, they've gone through some baseballs tonight. Looking through this list, Jimmy's first home run came off Steve Farr in Yankee Stadium. His 5th career home run in 1993 came off Rich Monteleone, who ended up as the bullpen coach later for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Swung on and missed. And he strikes him out, 2 down. In-game box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, who invite you to see the all-new 2012 Sonata. Visit NorthernOhioHyundaiDealers.com today.
It's been a extra base night for the Orioles. They do. The last 2 hits have been singles, but prior to that, they were all extra base hits. 6 doubles, 2 homers, and now 2 singles.
Fouled back by Bettamy. And missed up high with that one. too low. 3-1. And that's ball 4. A hit and a walk sandwiched around a couple of outs. And with 2 down, Chris Davis coming to the plate. It's amazing looking at this list how many guys that told me he hit home runs off in his career who are now coaching or doing TV.
Well, he's played for what, 20 years? He's been in the big leagues for 20 years. So when you think about it.
Yeah, it's just. Derek Lilliquist, he's a pitching coach now. Jason Bray is in our organization as a coach, special assistant type role. Fouled away. Ron Darling's a TV announcer. Al Leiter's a TV announcer. Scott Erickson's a coach in the Indians organization.
Right.
Jamie Moyer still trying to pitch. Swung on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes. Steve Carsey. He's coaching in the Indians Arizona League, summer league team. Pulled to first on the ground. Kochman tags the bag and the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 10-2 Baltimore. (10-2) Baltimore, bottom of the 8th inning. Steve Pearce has taken over for Chris Davis in left field. Matt Lindstrom got the last out of the 7th. He'll stay on to work the 8th with Jason Kipnis coming up. Well, bouncer to second base, 1 away. The only runs for the Indians tonight coming via the long ball, a couple of solo homers. And every time the Indians go deep, Rick and I each make a donation of $5 to the Gathering Place, while Great Clips donates $50, $5,100 on the year. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. Lifted to left. Pierce just into the game. Makes the catch. 2 down. CP going to get some work. I'll tell you one reason why Baltimore's still hanging around in this race, even with the changes they've undergone with their pitching on the fly this year. Their ERA on the road last year was .506, and they've cut it down to .393 coming into tonight's game.
Well, giving themselves a chance, in games. That's how the Indians started out on the road. They were playing well. They were pitching really well, and they were hitting on the road.
And they say it did hit him. I was going to say it almost looked like it glanced off of his leg, and Dan Bellino says it did catch him. So Santana takes his base. He's walked twice, and now he's been hit.
I'm not so sure Santana wanted to take base. I think he wanted to stay up there and hit.
You know what?
See, he was acting like it never hit him.
It didn't look like it did on that replay. But the umpire said it got him, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but he didn't catch it.
Travis Hafner looks at a ball outside. Well, one of the first trades leading up to the deadline occurring today between Toronto and Houston. Not exactly the kind of deal that's going to bust loose a logjam, but Toronto, with all their injuries and their pitching injuries this year, they picked up Brandon Lyon, Jay Happ, and David Carpenter from Houston for Francisco Cordero and Ben Francisco, and then they sent some minor leaguers to Houston as well. So the Astros, obviously getting some guys that, we've never heard of and most people have never heard of.
Right, minor leaguers that were trying to rebuild.
But they also get Cordero and Francisco. Those are the guys you've heard of. And Toronto gets some help, some pitching depth. Hafner checks. It's like when you go back when the Bartolo Colon trade was made, we got Lee Stevens. That's the only guy anybody had heard of. But he wasn't the key guy in the trade.
He was a throw-in you have to take.
That's right.
You have to take him because of salary.
The 2-2. Hafner fouls it back. And the 2-2 to Hafner. Hit on the ground off the glove of Lindstrom. And on the kick to the second baseman, Hafner is able to beat it out for an infield single. Well, 2 on, 2 out here in the 8th inning.
It went right off the glove of Lincecum and then had some spin, and then at second base, Flaherty had to try and barehand it. Watch the spin on this ball. Take off, went to the right. He had to barehand it and try and throw it out, and Hafner beats it out for an infield signal.
Matt Lindstrom will take aim against Johnny Damon, who is 2 for 3 on the night with a couple of singles. And a strike called. Fouled away. Speaking of Toronto, they're shutting out Boston 6-0 at Fenway.
Aaron Laffey that started that game there and went 7 shutout. And that White Sox left-hander, Quintana, shut him out for 8 yesterday. Until they got beat in the 9th inning. They scored 3 on a walk-off by Cody Ross.
The 0-2 down in the dirt. Now the Red Sox, kind of like the Indians coming in, 48-45. No 1-2 now. And Damon hits Lindstrom, hit his leg. Karams over toward the Orioles dugout. Wow. Bases are loaded. He got smoked by that line drive. I wonder if he's going to be all right. That ball creamed him right in the knee, it looked like. I'm surprised he was able to get up as quickly as he did. And an infield hit, second ball, hit right back up the middle in the inning.
Well, the good thing about it, the first one on Hafner, he got a little glove on it where it deflected up. This one was knee. Right to the knee, and look at that thing shoot off. That had to hurt. He's sort of strolling around and now trying. They have to get him out. That was right on the knee. That thing rolled right over there in front of their dugout. I mean, just ouch. Just for precautionary reasons, you gotta get somebody else in a 10-2 ball game. I can't see him leaving him out there.
Rick Adair's going back to the bullpen phone to make a call down there, it looks like. Lindstrom's lobbying like he wants to stay in the game. It sounded like he might have ticked it with his glove just before it hit his knee, but still, that was a pretty
thing bounced
vicious.
All the way back to their dugout. No, I can't see him leaving him in there. Cannot do it. You got to come out.
So we've got an injury timeout now as the Orioles will call down to the bullpen to get somebody ready. Bases loaded, 2 down. And Baltimore up by 8. So we'll take a timeout as the O's go to the pen. Indians have loaded the bases. This has all happened with 2 outs. The last 2 hitters, Hafner hit one up the middle off of Lindstrom's glove for an infield single. And then Damon knocks him out of the game with a line shot right off of his left kneecap. just glanced the glove and then smoked him.
Man, he bounced up like that. Didn't hurt. That had to hurt, man. That thing deflected a long way away. For precautionary reasons, they will take him out, and rightfully so. Bring in Kevin Gregg, who has all the time he needs to get loose and to get warm.
And he'll be facing Casey Kochman, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Kevin Gregg, he deals. And Kochman checked on the ball down and in, almost hit him. He didn't go. Low, 2 balls, no strikes. Foul down the right side, 2-1. And Kochman says, I cracked my bat. You know, we're definitely not seeing bats explode this year like we've seen them in recent past.
That's true. We have seen a couple where a bat even hit somebody, but you're right, a lot
Not
less.
as many.
That's true. I didn't even think about that, but you're right.
The 2-1. Way outside, 3 balls and a strike. One of the only times tonight this crowd's been able to make some noise. Kochman swings and it's out of play. Full count. And the payoff pitch, the runners go, and Kochman bloops one towards center, but Jones is there. He'll make the catch, and the Tribe leaves him loaded for the second time tonight. More go to the ninth. Chris Perez coming on for the Indians, bottom part of the Orioles order. Mark Reynolds, Ryan Flaherty, Nick Markakis coming up. CP for the 37th time this year. No wins, 2 losses, ERA 3.15.
Well, this game was all Baltimore early, a 6-run third inning. Both teams scored in the first, and they pretty much put it out of reach in the third, and then came back and added another pair in the fourth.
Mark Reynolds, 1 for 4. That is a little bit high. 2-0. Bullseye with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. It's a final in Detroit. Tigers beat the White Sox 4-2. They're a half game out now. And it's strike 2, 2-2. Pirates trying to hold off Miami 4-3. They lead that game in the ninth. Pittsburgh started the night a half game behind Cincinnati in the NL Central. Reds beat Milwaukee 3-1. Strike 3 called. 1 down here in the ninth. Ryan Flaherty, a 3-run homer. That was the capper in a 6-run third inning for Baltimore, as they jumped out to a 7-1 lead. Batted around in that third inning. Knocked Derek Lowe out. And then he came out and gave up a homer to Jim Thome to start the fourth, and then walked Adam Jones, and that was it. Check, did he go?
Yep.
Sure did. 2 down.
Little slider, couldn't hold up on. Tried to check it, did not. Back-to-back strikeouts for Perez.
And Nick Markakis coming to the plate.
They're going to pinch hit Endy Chavez.
Is that right? Good for them. Here's Endy Chavez. And it's up high for ball 1. Back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, good looking pitch. Didn't get the call. 2-1. Rip foul. Wow, everybody all right down there?
Well, I think that got somebody as he was walking out.
Never saw it coming.
Never saw it coming.
A pretty good gasp from the crowd. Full count now on Endy Chavez. And a base hit in the left center field. Damon almost collided with Brantley as they tried to cut it off. And it will be a 2-out double for Endy Chavez.
Looked like it was an off-speed pitch, and he just slaps the other way. They're going in there, and it's Damon sliding. Probably should have let Michael just take it and throw it to second base.
That's going to bring up J.J. Hardy. He is 1 for 5 tonight. Hardy doubled and scored way back in the first. That's in for a strike. It's 1-1. At the knees, a strike on the outside part of the plate. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth now. 10-2 Baltimore. Defensively now for Baltimore, Endy Chavez is in left. And Pierce goes over to right. For the Indians, it will be Jack Hanahan, Aaron Cunningham, and Jose Lopez. Hanahan looks at a breaking ball for strike one. Jack 1 for 3, homered his last time up. Greg delivers the 2-strike pitch, and Hanahan fouls it back. No shutout for Toronto tonight. Boston gets on the board in the bottom of the ninth, but the Jays lead the Red Sox 6-1. little bit outside. Tampa Bay and Seattle tied at 3 in the 9th. Hanahan strikes out. 1 down here in the 9th. KC, Minnesota, they're tied 1-1 in the 7th at Kauffman Stadium. Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show comes your way after the ball game. We'll look back at what went wrong here tonight. It happened in a hurry, and it happened early. And a strike to Aaron Cunningham, 1-1. Dodgers lead the Mets 7-6 in the 8th in the Big Apple. The 1-1 to Cunningham. Bounce to short. J.J. Hardy picks it, throws it. Got him 2 away. And that'll leave it up to Jose Lopez. Washington Nationals steamrolling Atlanta 9-4 there in the 8th inning in the nation's capital. Giants beat up on Philadelphia 7-2. Pirates held off Miami 4-3 in Pittsburgh. Lopez looks at ball 1 outside. Cardinals lead the Cubs 4-1 there in the 7th at Busch. Cincinnati beat Milwaukee 3-1 earlier. How happy are the Dodgers to get Matt Kemp back?
Yeah, absolutely. They missed him for quite some time.
That's what you call an impact player. They've got extra innings in St. Pete, Tampa, Seattle. They've gone to the 10th. 3-3 ball game. Two down in the bottom of the 9th. 10-2 Baltimore. A 1-2 count on Jose Lopez. And a check swing, foul back. Greg takes his time. And the 1-2, strike 3 call. That's your ball game. Indians go 1-2-3 here in the 9th. And they lose it 10-2. Baltimore with a convincing victory here tonight as they take the series opener. And we'll get a look at our key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank.
Well, we go back to the 3rd inning. Flaherty, the second baseman, and Derek Lowe left him a pitch out over the plate, and it was a 3-run homer, his 3rd of the year. That was part of that 6-run 3rd inning that really did it for the O's this evening, and it was on cruise control ever since then.
Play of the game brought to you by KeyBank. Earn double rewards points during the KeyBank Summer of Rewards. Final